Hi there, I'm Emily, and I actually come from the construction industry, and I'm really excited because today I'm going to walk through the Autodesk Construction Cloud Assets tool. The Assets tool is extremely flexible. You can use it for essentially anything that you want to track, and that's usually what I tell customers that I talk to is anything physical and even non-physical that you want to track. So maybe you want to track some safety paperwork and like certifications, people's license information for being able to operate a forklift. That's something that you could use assets for. But I would say the like very common standard usage that most people can relate to with assets is around MEP equipment or other types of equipment, things that are physical that are being installed in a building, maybe doors. So I want to walk through just a general overview of what assets is and how we're using it and how maybe you could use it. So to start, again, assets is super flexible. We have our categories on the left-hand side here. That's a customizable list. And then each category can have different assets within it. Those can have different statuses, descriptions, locations. Again, that is all something that you can create and can come up with your own list of those statuses, the descriptions, the naming conventions, all of that. That's something that you can always customize. We also have systems which allows you to take your assets and to create a system to group them into that. I don't have any in here, but I could go ahead and I could create a system and I can have all the assets associated with that. So if I want to create a system for a specific area of use, like maybe all of my pool equipment, but maybe they're different pieces of equipment, right? So they're not under the same category, but they go together. So they're a part of the same system. So it's another way that we can categorize our assets. All of this can actually be imported in here. So you can create them as a one-off, or you can go ahead and import them. You can import them from two different main sources. The first one would be from an Excel workbook, which this is going to give me the ability to do that. We have a sample spreadsheet for you. And then the other way is actually over here in the settings, going into the models, I can add in a model. So a Revit model, for example, and then I can import assets from that Revit model. So a lot of the design teams are already putting this information together of, I've got this air handler unit and there's 10 different air handler units on this project. So this allows us to map all of those assets and pull them in from the model. And then the awesome part about that is that we've got this rich information associated with each asset. So when I have an asset that's coming from a model, I think I have some doors in here that come from the model, I can actually see where they live inside of the model. So I can pull this up in the model and it's going to bring me to this asset once this model loads. So now that we have, this asset here in this model, we can see all of our other assets as well. And you're noticing probably that they're in different colors. Well, the different colors have to do with the different statuses. So if this one is now installed, I can change that and it's going to change the color of that physical asset inside of that model. The awesome thing about each one of these assets is not only do we have the detail information here, which again, those are customizable prompts. So if you want to have some dates in there as to when it was installed, when it was ordered, when it's expected, those are different prompts that you can have in here for the different asset types. The references allows me to put information in here regarding this asset. So let me go to an asset here that's got a bunch of information in here. So we can take a look at all of the references associated with it. So this asset's got a bunch of data in it. It's got all of my maintenance data, my O&M manuals, some forms. So an inspection for my startup checklist that is in here. We can click on that and boom, it's going to bring me right into this form so that now I can go ahead and I can fill out this startup checklist and go through all of the different questions. And then I've got my schedule that's associated with it, so I can see the dates. I've got my work plans that are associated with it from, also the schedule information, submittals. So a lot of different information, even our cost data that we can pull into each asset. This can be used for pre-construction, for prefabrication, when we're already working on the project and we're ordering our materials, when we're installing materials and we want to manage how much has been installed on the project, what are our statuses look like, what percent complete are we on this project with installing all of our air handler units or our doors. And then also, a lot of teams are leveraging this beyond the construction phase. So this can totally be used for facilities. All you got to do is slap a barcode or a QR code onto each specific asset out in the field. So we got this air handler unit. I've got a barcode on it. I go and scan it in my phone in our mobile application. And then it's going to pull up all this information for me. If there's something wrong with it, I can go ahead. I can add in a photo. I can add in an issue inside of the references. And now my facilities team has somewhere to track all of this information. Our yearly maintenance inspections, we can track those in here with our forms. So there's so much that can be done with the assets. It's, again, such a flexible tool, but a very, very valuable tool for all the teams out there. So I'd love to hear in the comments how you're using assets. If you're not already using it, how you would want to be using it, or what you think that it would be helpful for. So go ahead and do that. And if you're interested in learning more, please put in the comments if there's anything more that you want to learn about assets or anything regarding the Autodesk Construction Cloud. And if you can, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you next time.